Yo, what is going on, guys? Mobile Carrier News here. And T-Mobile is still continuing to use Sprint's 2.5 gigahertz spectrum on top of their 600 megahertz and their mid-band, low-band, and high-band millimeter wave. T-Mobile is still continuing on their route to build, the greatest, 5G network and all that stuff. But I've talked a lot about negativity, but I actually want to go into the positives of this. I do believe T-Mobile is on track to create a pretty good network. Now, the unfortunate part, we know they're not investing a lot of money. We know that part. But I still think T-Mobile will be okay as a carrier. They will be last. I mean, it's gonna happen. It's they're bound to be last. I mean, can they defeat Verizon? No, probably not. They would need a miracle. They would need to be investing $30 to $60 billion if they wanted to beat T-Mobile. And let's be honest, that's not gonna happen. If it did happen, I would be shocked. I would be so surprised. I'm like, wow, they actually invested that much money into the business, into T-Mobile themselves, when they won't really do that. But I do believe they're on a good track for this. They have been struggling since, I believe, 2013. 2013, I didn't have them. I had AT&T. But from what I've read and heard, they had zero LTE coverage. It's like no LTE at all. They had HPSA Plus, which is like 4G but fast 4G, and they also had their regular 4G. So their 4G was pretty fast, but they had no LTE, zero LTE from that time then on to that point. And they were struggling. They were struggling pretty bad. They had, I don't know how many customers they had. I wasn't a customer with them. I was dying to go to them because I guess they were cheaper back then and they were offering unlimited data. But then it was all marketing. It was all marketing on them. On every carrier, to be honest. We have the best, we have unlimited, we have fastest, all that stuff. But they were struggling, and they've come a long way. They are investing more into billions now. Not a lot of billions of dollars. They're investing only $9 billion. But back then they weren't they weren't even close to what the competition was investing in. AT&T and Verizon were investing way more than them. But I do believe they're on track to be, they're gonna be the last carrier. Let's be honest. If they surpass AT&T, I do believe if they do, I'll be pretty shocked. Like, wow, okay, so they surpassed AT&T. Now, short term, they are gonna struggle. Not a lot, but competition wise, yes, they will be struggling competition wise, because it's already been 2 years. And they came out with 5G nationwide in 2019. I didn't have them in 2019. I had them late 2020. But I'm pretty sure that even when their 5G first came out in December 2019, it was too new. People. I'm pretty sure people had lost connection. People were like, "Why is my 5G gone?" It was too new. Like it is now. 5G is still new. What's kind of funny is, like, I actually just got off with one of their customer engineers or experts, and they're still fixing 5G, even though I have 5G, and right now as we're speaking, you see my icon right there, 5G. They're still working on it. T-Mobile is using they're using 5G but in two different types of ways. They're using 5G from their own LTE, and they're also using from Sprint's 2.5 spectrum, as you can see here. So, short term, they are going to struggle with competition, not with money or with customers, because that's what they struggle with big time back then. Back then, they were struggling heavy, and it was they weren't going bankrupt, but they were like in dire need. They were really struggling, but now they're long term. I do believe T-Mobile is on the right track. They're on the right track to be the third largest carrier. They are investing good amounts of money now than they were before. I will tell you that. They're and with Sprint's and with the because they bought Sprint, I think they're going to do pretty good. Will they be pretty fast like the competitors? No, they will not. And honestly, I think that's okay. Like, I honestly believe T-Mobile is better off now than any other time at all in like the century, like well like like right now, as we're saying, because they're not gonna go back. I do believe back then they were. I think they were close. I wouldn't say they're close to being bankrupt, but that's what they were fearing. Like, okay, we can't go bankrupt because we have all these customers, and if we do, they're just gonna go to AT&T and Verizon, and they're gonna struggle, and they're just gonna be done. But they've actually improved from now. I guarantee you, if I had T-Mobile back then instead of AT&T, I would have gotten no service. My speeds would have been less than what I had with AT&T. AT&T was pretty fast. The first time I downloaded, I believe, a video to like a music video to like just stream it, I got it in like probably 2 seconds. And with T-Mobile, if I downloaded them, it would take me like probably 30 seconds. It would take me a while. It honestly would. But they're doing pretty good right now with their 2.5 gigahertz spectrum. It's still gonna. I will believe me. It will take them a while. I know they're gonna commission or shut down Sprint's former CDMA towers. And believe me, I was looking at Sprint's coverage. They used to be Sprint. They have a lot of towers, and believe me, they have a ton of towers that are now T-Mobile's, and they're going to convert those into LTE towers, or turn some of those towers from LTE to 5G to abuse both, to convert both into two ways, LTE and 5G. It's still going to take them a while. They're going to start decommissioning those towers by 2022, earlier next year, and also they're going to be, I believe by early 2023, late 2023, or early 2024, they're going to be done. All Sprint's coverage will be in T-Mobile's hands. Their connection will be better. But I do believe at this very time and point that I'm making this video now, I still do believe T-Mobile can do way better with investing their money. I watched a recent video. They're gonna be in marketing. I believe they got a new marketing CFO or COO. I forget, a new marketing person for the company. They recently hired a new one after one I believe left the company for 18 years. I really wish they could be instead of, they're going to be investing more in marketing, which is great and all, but I wish they could be investing more money. They're investing only $9 billion, which is, it's okay, it's fine, it's decent. I'll say it's better than nothing. It really is better than nothing. If the thing is, but here's what I'm thinking: if they can invest a little more, like let's say $15 to $20 billion, and if my coverage gets better over time, and if I move to a different state and my coverage is good still, like let's say 100 to 200 megabytes, I guess I'll be okay. I wish it could be like a gigabyte, but I'm not the CEO of the company. I'm just a customer. I just pay for the service. But this is my 2 cents on T-Mobile, which is, it's in a good way. 200, if I let's say moved to Texas or Ohio or even New York, if I had about 200 to 600 megabytes per second down or upload, I would be hyped. I mean, I'd be excited. I'm like, wow, this is really good speed. I can download this. I can upload that. If I switch to LTE and if I still got over 100 megabytes per second, I would be excited. Be like, yes, I can download this. There's no lagging. I don't have to go to my coverage doesn't have to go to zero. It's pretty good. But I really do think T-Mobile can do just a little better and invest a little more money. Like even if they can just increase their capex, if they can invest maybe just I know T-Mobile doesn't like to invest a lot of money. They only like to invest $9 billion. But if they can invest from $9 billion to, let's say, $30 or $40 billion, that would, I'm telling you, that would be a game changer. That would be a game changer. And I really do hope they invest more of their cap, especially especially in the coming years. So right now we're on 5G, right? They're going, and when 6G is here, I really hope they switch from marketing to literally investing more in the service and their capex. Because right now, don't get me wrong, with T-Mobile mixing their LTE, their 600 megahertz, 5G nationwide coverage, and Sprint's 2.5 gigahertz spectrum. That's what I call a four-way combo. Right here it says, right here they're trying to do a triple layer 5G network. Low mid-band nationwide, mid-band metro, and millimeter wave dense urban. But I believe T-Mobile's working four ways. They're doing their 4G LTE, they're doing their nationwide 5G, which is it's great and all. They're doing their 600 megahertz spectrum, and they're doing Sprint's 2.5 gigahertz. That's a four-way combo. I know it says 3 here, but T-Mobile is actually doing pretty good. For the most part, they're doing pretty good. If their service can get better, if I can go to a state where I can get coverage, I'll be good. I'll be fine. I just wish they can invest more instead of the competition. Maybe T-Mobile has a secret weapon. I don't know what it may. I'm not really sure what kind of secret weapon that could be to outbeat the competition, because Verizon and AT&T go aggressive with their speeds. They go ham. They go all in on their speeds. If I had an AT&T phone with 5G right now, even with LTE, I'd probably be getting maybe 6. This is just my opinion. I could be wrong. If I was getting 600 megabytes per second in my own house, and I'm getting what, like, right now with their 5G, they're still working on it. I'm getting like 30. That's just insane. Like, dang, T-Mobile, like, speed up your capex. I'm not really sure why T-Mobile is going to struggle short term with their competition, but they're going to do great in their long term. That's what I've read, and I haven't done much research on that. I don't really understand why it's going to be short term a struggle for them for their competition, but in the long term they're going to prosper. They're going to go into a huge progress, which is kind of hard to believe because Verizon is literally going crazy with their nationwide 5G ultra wideband, and AT&T is going crazy with their own 5G, and on top of that, AT&T and Verizon both have C-band. They have C-band, which is going to be insane. And I believe the next auction is this October. I don't remember what month it is, but the auction is coming soon, and I really hope. I'm not sure if T-Mobile has C-band. Maybe they do. I honestly don't know. All I know is they're investing with 600 megahertz nationwide 5G, their 4G LTE, and Sprint's 2.5 spectrum. That's the 4 things I know they're investing in, and I think they might have some C-band, but I really hope they invest this next auction coming up. I'm not sure if it's the last auction. I'm pretty sure there's several auctions per year, or per several years when there's a new service there's a new service up, like 5G, 6G, 7G, etc., etc. I really hope T-Mobile actually invest a lot of money into getting that C-band. Because I've noticed with these auctions, if one carrier gets a lot of the spectrum, then the last 2 carriers have to fight for the last spectrum, and if the second carrier gets more spectrum, then the remaining spectrum goes to the last place, the last company in charge of getting that spectrum. And I really hope T-Mobile invests enough of that spectrum. I don't know how much. I really hope if they can invest like at least maybe $30 to $50 billion on that C-band that's coming up. That would really help them out. But T-Mobile's off to a great start, actually. I have been debating between switching to LTE, through my 5G, but I think so far 5G is pretty good. I know in some places when I go to, it's my 5G cuts off and it just goes straight to LTE, but it still works. You know, I'm not going to complain. I'm still fine with that. You know, as long as my service works, I'm good. I just really hope T-Mobile can invest more instead of hyping up their marketing and saying we're this and that, and actually put in the work, because I respect, you know, all carriers and companies, but T-Mobile is just you know, the last thing we want them to do, the last thing we want to happen is people, you know, just ditching them for other carriers for them not actually, you know, fulfilling their promise. And I don't think T-Mobile will be losing I mean, they might be losing some customers. We'll never know. I'll never know. I don't have the stats for the company. Some people might want to go to really true coverage like Verizon, or faster speeds like AT&T, you know, which, you know, it's their choice. You know, at the end of the day, you can go to any carrier you want. Yeah, but the only reason I left AT&T for T-Mobile is not because I was a T-Mobile fanboy. It's because, I didn't really have a good experience with AT&T. But now that AT&T is doing all this now that all carriers are coming out with this information and C-band, I'm actually willingly to go back to AT&T, but I'm going to keep T-Mobile. So I'm going to be doing speed tests for two carriers, and then sooner or later I'm going to be purchasing Verizon, and I'm just going to be doing massive amounts of speed tests, and I'm just going to be sharing it with you guys, and I want to know what you guys think. So this is T-Mobile's plan. I really hope they do well in 2021 through 2025. I really hope they actually do what they're going to do, because competition is heated. It's very heated up. Do I plan to make T-Mobile as my primary carrier? That's a good question. I'm not gonna lie. I honestly want to have all three as my primary carriers. I know that's interesting, or maybe kind of strange, but I don't know why. I just want to have all three as my primary carriers. I could do multiple speed tests. I don't know. I would just want to test them out every time whenever I travel, and whenever I go out, and see how every service is. Do I want to make one as my primary carrier? I do, but with T-Mobile, Verizon, and Sprint being just, the big three in the United States, I honestly don't know who I would pick as my carrier. I could one day go out for a walk, and if I want true coverage when I go exercise, I could use Verizon. If I want to have crazy speeds, I could take AT&T. If I want to have some speeds that actually work, if it just I just want to use it for speeds, I'll do T-Mobile. But in any sense, that is my opinion on T-Mobile. T-Mobile's doing pretty good so far. Not investing a lot, but as long as their service works, they're fine. Obviously T-Mobile and AT&T are the top dogs. They'll be the number one. But let's be honest, it's actually Verizon. But you guys know what I'm talking about. So let me know what you guys think on T-Mobile and everything going on. What are you guys' true opinions on how T-Mobile will do from 2021 to 2025? I'm very curious. Do you guys think T-Mobile has a secret weapon other than this to compete with the other carriers? Do you guys think they're going to be spending a lot of money on C-band with the next auction coming up this October 2021? Let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you all on the next video.